She listed her first product for sale October 1st, 2024. A month later, she got her very first sale. Her second month, she hit 100 sales sold in her store. Month 5, she had 2 listings absolutely explode. And 1 year later, now she's sold over 7,000 items and over $100,000 in revenue. But what actually made her succeed might actually go against a lot of the things you've heard about how to succeed on Etsy. Today, I'll be breaking down a real beginner on Etsy's first year selling print on demand on Etsy. I'll break it down month by month and go through what I think really led her to succeed in selling over 7,000 items her first year on Etsy, so you can see what realistic progress actually looks like. And along the way, I'll be busting some big Etsy myths that a lot of people believe that might actually be slowing down your shop. Let's start from the beginning. This is my student, Sanna. She joined my private community back in the end of 2024, and she got her first item listed in her Etsy store on October 1st, 2024. 4 weeks later, she got her very first sale in November of 24. If you started today, would you keep going if it took you over a month to get your very first sale? A lot of people actually quit in this part of the process. They try it, they list a couple of things, and nothing sells for the first month or two, and then they quit. But where Sanna really won in this time is she kept listing before she had the proof. 2 things that are really important to know when you first get started selling on Etsy is that it's super normal for it to take a month or 2 for you to get your very first sale on Etsy. A lot of sellers have to list anywhere from 50 to 100 items for sale before they get that coveted first sale. And that can feel really discouraging at first if you don't know that that's what you should expect. But your shop doesn't have any reviews and has very little items for sale in your store, so customers don't know to trust it as much just yet. But new listings on Etsy do take a little while to rank in the search algorithm and have Etsy to start showing you. Even brand new listings from successful sellers that already have established sales history, it can take 4 to 6 weeks for their listings to really start to take off and gain traction. Yes, there's always those exceptions where something is 1 month old and is sold 80 times, but those are the exception, not the rule. So it's important to understand what's kind of normal so that you don't feel discouraged right in the beginning. And it's so great that Sanna did keep listing, because at the end of her first 2 months, she actually reached 100 sales in her Etsy store. Reviews started rolling in, and she was starting to get a little bit more consistent sales. Within 3 months, she actually hit $4,500 in revenue in her Etsy shop. But what actually got her those early sales? She did what most beginners are afraid to even try. She jumped straight into group listings. One early order, she got 11 shirts purchased from just 1 customer. Would you rather have 11 customers buy 1 item or 1 customer buy 11 items? Bigger orders equal faster momentum and more profit in your pocket. So the first takeaway from the beginning of her journey is not to shy away from the more difficult listings. Most new beginners go for the easy, low-hanging fruit. They don't try group listings, they don't try personalized orders, they don't try different placement like a pocket design on the front of a shirt and a big back design on the back. So try to go outside of your comfort zone and really add value and try out some of these harder listing methods that might feel intimidating right in the beginning, but you might get really rewarded for doing it. Sanna shared in my private community that it took her 1.5 months, but she had 100 listings up and she had sold 4 Christmas sweatshirts. So of her first 3 months, that $4,500 in revenue was all t-shirts and sweatshirts. And a lot of people think that those are oversaturated products. And that leads me right into the first Etsy myth that I want to bust that a lot of people believe, and that's that t-shirts on Etsy are oversaturated. But it's not that shirts are oversaturated on Etsy. It's that basic designs are oversaturated. There are always new popular fonts, new trending layouts, new aesthetics, new memes, new design styles. And the sellers who win in t-shirts are the first ones to bring new styles into existing niches. But what happened in month 5 of her journey completely changed the trajectory of her business. 2 listings started selling hundreds of times. Why? She applied one simple strategy: combine new trends with already proven niches. Let's break that down. A lot of new sellers will see a best-selling product on Etsy. They'll change the design a little bit and then post it again themselves with the same text and just a slightly different design. What she did instead was she looked at what trending design styles were working in this niche and applied the trending designs, the colors, the fonts to a niche that didn't have anything that looked like that just yet. That intersection is where breakout products live. So instead of looking like a just copy in a sea of copies, she added value and provided something new to a niche that was already selling well on Etsy right now. She shared in my private community on 2/9, my weekly win is I watched the Adding Value Masterclass. It was amazing, and put it into action by creating new listings for a niche. I listed an item on Friday and it already sold today so fast. That's never happened to me before. Then on 2/16, she shared my weekly win. I just hit 300 sales. On 2/18, she got her very first bestseller. And then on 2/25, she shared that she hit 500 sales today. So then she shared her February 2025 wins was that in the month 5 of her shop being opened, she made 345 sales that month, over 10,000 euros in actual revenue. She got 3 bestsellers and a 25% profit margin. And she said, the turning point for me was the Adding Value Masterclass. Watching the replay multiple times has helped something click in my brain. After that, I took action fast, designing for trending niches and focusing on adding value, and the results followed quickly. And for anyone who's already a member of my monthly Trend Report subscription, I will add the Adding Value Masterclass that she's talking about to your subscription this month so that you can check it out and hopefully get a bunch of value from it as well. And if you're watching this and you don't know what my monthly Trend Reports are, I would love for you to join them as well if you're interested. It's an over hour-long video that you get emailed to you once a month with the trending design styles on Etsy, what's selling really well on Etsy that you can list for today, and what you should be designing for in advance. So if you're someone who just doesn't have a ton of time to do all the research yourself and you just want to be given a list of this is what you should be listing for and when and what styles are trending, then you'll love the trend reports. That link down in the description. You can also comment trend report and I'll send you the link to check out the details. So to actually implement this in your own business, ask yourself, what design styles are really trending on Etsy right now in other niches? And what niche doesn't have that design style just yet? Hopefully that question alone can generate dozens of ideas for you. And that's actually the perfect segue for the second Etsy myth that I want to bust in this video. And that's that you need really complicated designs to get sales. The reality, she said that actually most of her bestsellers were simple text-based designs that she never would have thought would have actually sold. If you really take the time to research on Etsy, most of the bestsellers are just text-based designs, but a lot of new sellers feel like adding value means that they need to do lots of different colors, lots of different fonts, tons of different graphics, when in reality, on clothing especially, but on lots of other products, simple really does sell. And that's because they're easy to read, easy to understand from that tiny thumbnail on Etsy, and customers just love simple designs. And once she was a couple months into her journey, she kept seeing one particular pattern, is that she'd list something and it would actually sell fast. She'd list something and it would sell the same weekend. She'd list something, it'd sell 2 days later. She'd list something, it'd sell 4 times immediately. And this is important because fast sales really tell you something, that the demand already existed. She didn't list items for sale on Etsy that she just liked or that she thought would sell potentially. She was finding items that were already selling well on Etsy today and making a design that added value. Because if someone else sold it today on Etsy, that means that customers are actively coming to the platform today, typing that in and searching for something and buying it. And so if you can just make a better version, a different version that really adds value, like we talked about in the last part, then you could even potentially get a sale really quickly as well. But she didn't only list for things right when they were selling. She also prepped really early for things that were going to be selling in advance. Because if you only design for things that are already selling, then you'll always be a little bit behind. So you need a good balance in your business. In June of 2025, we actually ran a listing challenge in our private community where I had everyone make 5 different designs for grades pre-K all the way up until 5th grade, which is 7 different grade levels, which turned into 120 different listings on Etsy. And you had to get those listed within 2 weeks. She completed that challenge and this was her result. She said, "Thank you. All the designs I made for the listing challenge were general teacher shirts for all grade levels with no personal personalization. I wanted to keep my summer as personalization free as possible, and I'm not using Hello Custom just yet. And then on July 18th, she shared, I just hit 4,000 sales and 900 reviews with 5 stars. She said, the moment teacher shirts are flying off the shelves. Huge thank you to Cassie and Coach Sam for the June teacher listing challenge. It really pushed me to keep listing, and it's led to some amazing summer sales. So that leads me directly into the Etsy myth number 3 that I want to bust today, which is that new sellers can't compete in big niches. The niche that got her to 4,000 sales was the teacher niche, not niched down, not hyper specific, not personalized. Just kindergarten teacher, first grade teacher, second grade teacher, etc. The volume strategy and adding value with the designs, adding something to the teacher niche that it didn't have already but was already proven somewhere else, really paid off for her. And if you think that big niches are oversaturated, how many niches did you actually design and list for that niche? Was it 120? It would be so nice if a print-on-demand business was as simple as make 20 or 40 great designs and then you'd be able to make a full-time income from it. But that's not how it works. You need to see what's trending, add value, and test. Because not every listing that you make is going to sell. A lot of times it's 20% of our listings that actually make us 80% of our profit. It's okay that not every listing will sell for you, but if you keep trying, you keep testing, and you do more of what works for you, there really are amazing results that you can have on Etsy and still so much opportunity. She also busted the Etsy myth number 4 that I wanted to talk about, is that you need personalization to make sales. Her teacher designs that sold really well, not personalized. Personalization can help you get more sales, but I hope that you know that it is not a requirement. Adding value with your design is way more important than offering personalization. Just because you're offering a custom name doesn't mean it's automatically gonna get you sales. But then something happened that almost every new Etsy seller experiences at some point, even if they're having a bunch of success at one time. Her sales completely dropped. Why? Because she stopped listing for a few weeks. It wasn't because of the algorithm. It wasn't because of competition or oversaturation. It was just inactivity. So let this part of her journey be a lesson to you that you can't just chase the next upcoming holiday or the next biggest trend. You also need to be listing evergreen items in your store that could sell anytime throughout the year. So some evergreen items, for example, would be gifts for mom, gifts for your sister, birthday gifts, pregnancy announcement items. Really, the sky's the limit here, but think things that aren't seasonal, something that could sell any day all throughout the year. And the more you can stock your shop with those types of items, the more consistent your income will slowly get. So listing consistently actually ended up being the one thing that massively accelerated her growth. But not just listing anything, listing the right things at the right time. Some other challenges that she completed in my group last year were the 100 bachelorette listings in 1 month last spring and 25 group matching listings in 1 week leading into Christmas. During one of our listing challenges, she got a 24 group shirt order only 4 days after starting the listing challenge. Imagine how motivating that would be as a beginner. And that leads me to the Etsy myth number 5 that I want to bust today, which is that you only need a few listings to succeed on Etsy. The shops that grow the fastest on Etsy aren't the ones who list the perfect items. They're the ones that list consistently. She shared that she created 1,500 listings in her first year on Etsy. That's about 3 listings every single day, 365 days of the entire year. Not because she was chasing just quantity, but because she understood something that a lot of new sellers actually miss. Listings give you data, and more data means that you can make more winners. She didn't succeed because she guessed right. She succeeded because she tested enough to stop guessing. Within her first year, she reached 1,000 sales, 3,000 sales, 5,000 sales, then 7,000 sales. She got multiple bestsellers, an Etsy pick badge. She sold over 100,000 euros in revenue, and her highest profit month was actually her 8th month selling on Etsy, and she made over $7,000 in profit after all of her expenses. from a shop that started just like yours with 0 listings. I asked her what her biggest advice was to a new seller, and she said to keep listing, don't copy, stay consistent, learn patterns, because Etsy success isn't about talent, it's about staying in the game long enough to find out what works. The people who win aren't the most creative, they're the most consistent. And if you're still feeling skeptical or discouraged after watching this video, then I'll link an interview I did with my student Marina up next for you to watch, where she didn't actually make any profit her first 2 years, but in year 3, she actually made $30,000 in profit. So I'll link that one up for you to watch next.